Hello, Internet. Hi, Internet. I'm Matt Haas. Full-scale manufacturing has begun in the Awesome Wood Things wood shop. Fabayam. What is this ugly thing? Matt, is this all you did all day long? Boy, you haven't got very much done. No, no, no. I'm working smarter, not harder. What is this? This is a pattern. So I carefully crafted this. This is the top of the lawn ornament candy canes. I'm making lawn ornament candy canes, and I'm going to try and sell them. So this is the top of it. This is where the long stick would be here, and that's the candy cane. I got these bump outs for these screws. Hi, Marilyn. Good morning to you. My early birds are here. So what you can do is you can put this on a piece of plywood. So you can cut out a piece of plywood, but the plywood doesn't have to be cut out perfectly. Like you can be like a 1/4 inch above where you want it. And then what you do is you screw this and this together like that. And again, when you do this, the plywood doesn't have to be flush. Then you take one of these. This is a flush trim router bit with a bearing on the top. Hi, Whit. 4:40 in the morning. Yikes. Thanks for getting up early. So what you do is you drill this into your wood with these little tabs, because candy canes don't have a little tab on it, but you need this to hold it. And then this will ride along. This is hooked up to a router that spins this bit on a table, a flat surface. And the router will ride along here, and it will make whatever's underneath this exactly like this. So what I did is I cut this and sanded this, and I made this as perfect as I can get it. In other words, you spend all your time making this. This is the most important thing. And then you really junky, really fast, really sloppily, you cut out a piece of plywood that is way outside the lines. It's not like kindergarten where you have to color inside the lines. Jamie, hello. And then you attach your wood, and then you use this bearing, and the bearing follows the template. This is the template. This is the actual good piece. And then bottom line is, this can make hundreds, thousands of perfect copies really quick. But you need to use the router. The router is a big machine that holds onto this, and it spins it. Now this does not look dangerous. Like, this is a small little thing. Like, I mean, how dangerous could this little tiny thing be? Let me tell you, it can be very dangerous. Take my audio levels down just a bit. It can be very dangerous. The routers that spin these have huge motors, because the last thing you want is for the machine to bog down, for the machine to be biting away at the material and slowing down or stopping, because that can be very dangerous. So it needs to be very powerful. Now, on the flip side of that, powerful machines are very dangerous. This is one of the leading causes, using a router is one of the leading causes of injury in the shop. That's why it's good to have this template, because when you have it on your workpiece like this, you can keep your hands away from the blade. So if I'm doing this inside piece, my fingers are not on the inside cutting, they're holding it on the outside. And likewise, when I'm working on this part, my fingers are way far away from the blade, because all kinds of scary things can happen. The blade can catch the workpiece and jolt it in a random direction. And when it's jolting in a random direction, it can take your fingers in a random direction. And whatever touches this spinning blade is going to be destroyed, fingers and bone included. nothing, and I mean nothing, will stop this blade from spinning. You would have to take a piece of steel and jam it into this blade for it to stop spinning. And even then, it will probably tear up the steel. I'd say you could lose a finger if it gets in the way. Oh, yes, without a doubt. Roy, hello. I never really thought about how dangerous a router could be. Yes, it seems to be one of the more safe tools because the danger part, the sharp part, is so tiny. Now, this particular one is a little too small. I have a larger, like a deeper one that's actually on my tool. But make no mistake, this is one of the most dangerous tools in the shop because, and it's also dangerous because as this is spinning, depending on where your workpiece touches, the geometry and the physics are different, because if you touch your workpiece here, it's going to push it in a different direction if you touch the workpiece there. So how you approach the piece of wood onto this is very critical, because you always want the spinning part. See how it spins? See, this is the Sharpie blade part right there. You want the workpiece to always move in the direction, it's hard to do with a backwards camera, in the direction of the spin. You want it to bite into your workpiece. In other words, you never want to ride this. You never want to ride your workpiece the wrong way. You always want to shove the wood into the biting blade. If you do it backwards, that's very dangerous, and it can throw your workpiece like this. John Pullum is here. If you lose a finger as you made it, you can put the red lines on the candy cane without paint if you work. See, John is always looking on the bright side. Thank you, John. Yeah, so I started the full-scale manufacturing, and I spent what seems like a ridiculous amount of time making this perfect template, which is the top of the candy cane, but it can make thousands of repeatable plywood candy cane tops. In other words, I don't have to meticulously cut and sand and shape this piece over and over and over again. I spend all my time and energy making this ugly MDF. This is medium density fiberboard. This is junk material. It's awful to use in final products, but it's great for templates. And now I can cut out a piece of wood. I can go outside the lines. I can leave about 1/4 inch, 1/8 of an inch wobbly outside the lines on the bandsaw. I don't have to get technical with it. I don't have to sand it down perfectly. And I drill it onto here. I have these screws, which I'm going to keep here. And the screws will affix it to the bottom work piece, the finished piece. And I'm going to take this router, and it is just going to do all the work for me. And it's going to make perfect duplicate copies. This is a copy paste machine. This is a fully manual Command C, Command V copy paste machine. It's like taking off into the wild. Yeah, I guess so. Oh, candy cane. And look, he did the monkey. I love the monkey emoji. You now have a lifetime template. Yes, as a matter of fact, I do. And a lot of woodworkers will have all these weird shapes up on the wall that are these templates. And it helps when you manufacture something at scale. So yeah, I could have made about 5 of these, maybe 6, maybe even 10 of these in the time it took me to make this. But now I'm going to be able to make 50 of these in one sitting. So it's you spend the time up front to do this, and then you fly through this in the end. And the only other difficult part is I put this bump out on the inside. Inside shapes are a little bit hard to clean up because I'm going to have to cut this off, and I'm going to have to cut this off. Well, not on the template, on the actual workpiece. I'll have to cut these tabs off here. But as you can see, whoops. as you can see, with this on the inside, I can get a little bit more material out of it. Because if this was on the opposite side, like that, then the next grouping wouldn't fit in there very well, because then this would be down here, and then so I'm trying to be smart about not wasting the material, because I can get it closer that way. Blah 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 blah. So I made the decision to put this tab on a more difficult inside shape, just so I can save a little bit more material and maybe get more product out of it. Because when you're doing manufacturing, you want to make as many products out of your waste. And when you're dealing with woodworking, this is a sad statistic. You lose about 40% of the material you buy is on the cutting room floor. It's just sad. Any large-scale manufacturing. So whatever wood you buy, if you're good, you're only using 60% of it. So, and can you ship one to me in Maine? Haha, just kidding. Well, funny you ask, because I knew people were going to do this, and I started I started pricing boxes. So I'm like, oh, people are going to want me to ship these. But now look, this is what I'm facing. So maybe I get this box, 4 inches, can hold about 5 candy canes. So you have to buy 25 at minimum. So 25 boxes times $2.60 each. I'm $65 in the hole. So, and I bought a more expensive router bit. I mean, I have one of these that has a longer blade on it. I mean, I had one that had a longer blade on it, but I bought a more robust one for $20. So I'm $20 into this already, and now I'm probably gonna have to spend $65. So I'm $85 into this, and I haven't even made a sale yet. And I'm using all of the wood that I have on hand, which would cost money. You buy a sheet of plywood, that's $65. It gets exhausting. It gets exhausting. I get you. I understand. I'm right with you, Jamie. I'm right with you. So I just wanted to share that I started doing some manufacturing, and well, we'll see where it goes. This is the last day that I work my full-time job for the week. I took every Friday off for the rest of the year because I had extra vacation days I have to use. So as soon as I'm done work, I'm going to hit the shop. I'm going to do Mind Equals Blown on Brenda G's Designs channel at 7. And then all day Friday, I'm going to be in the shop. All day Saturday, I'm going to be in the shop. And Sunday, we're having company. And so I'm going to see how many of these puppies I can crank out. And this is going to be a big savings. And I'm just going to cut these 2-inch strips down on the table saw with no template needed. And I'm going to put a dowel rod to join these two parts, and use wood glue. Wood glue is an engineering miracle. Wood glue is so strong, if you break the workpiece, it will break the wood, not the glue. The joint is actually stronger than the actual wood, because when you shove these in the ground, think about it. If this is the piece, there's pressure. There's a lot of pressure here, so this can crack very easily. But the wood glue alone should hold it. But I'm going to drive a dowel in there, and the dowel gets more glue surface because the glue can get up into the dowel on both sides of the workpiece. So that's the manufacturing process I'm going to do. I am so thankful you love these streams. My goal is just to do a stream of consciousness, share what I'm doing. In many ways, it's kind of like a diary for me, but I'm glad people are here enjoying this. And I think it's important to have a space where you tell what you're going to do Talk about it while you're doing it, and then come back and show the finished product. Because when I'm on Awesome Wood Things, I would never put content out about what I'm going to do. Like Awesome Wood Things is, this is awesome. Here it is. Here's how I made it. It's not all the prep work. But I think it's important for people to follow the entire process. But I don't want to put it on my premium channel over here. I only want the, I don't know what I'm saying, but I'm glad you're liking it. And hey, it's Sammy Superstar's birthday today. Okay, I'll be sure and do that. Thanks for the heads up, tall boy. All right, I'm heading out. Thanks for following along. Pattern. Yes, I spent all day making this, and it's going to accelerate my work going forward. Hopefully it pays off in the end. Hopefully people buy these things. If not, I'll have a truckload of candy canes. My house is going to be the candy cane kingdom if no one buys these things. All right, got to go. Later, folks. Love